Welcome to the Big DAWG Podcast. I'm your host, Kel Sanford of Town Cloud Sports Media, and I'm with
Coach Mark,
Jaylen Dawson,
Jaylen Dawson,
and Coach Marcus,
and Brandon Jones from BJ Media.
Fresh off of a big victory, that get back week for the Desert Scorpions here. We're greeted with our player of the week, our Town Cloud player of the week, Jaylen Dawson, holding it down, 15 tackles, 1 fumble recovery, making it happen. How y'all guys feel? You know, the get back from the 5A playoffs last year, got a little bit of revenge. What's that feel like?
I mean, it's good. I feel like anytime you beat a quality opponent, it's a good feeling. You know, I have a ginormous amount of respect for Coach Zuby and Higley. They do a really good job over there. Top, first class organization. But under the extreme circumstances that were presented to us, like my brother said today at practice, the adversity revealed our character, and we wanted to make that next step to be an elite team and an elite program. And so I thought, being under those stressful circumstances and being in the face of adversity, I thought we did a really good job of guys coming together. Guys weren't bitter, guys weren't mad. It was like the next man up. And I think that our culture is that's what it should be, and that's what championships teams do. They find a way, and we found a way.
Yes, sir.
My next question is, you guys went up 25-0 and kind of faced a lot of adversity there. Game going into double overtime eventually. How do you kind of rally your guys, especially after Buddha got ejected, and come out with the win?
Well, I think it was really important to our guys. So, I told a reporter this weekend, there was been guys ready to put their life on the line for that dub. It meant a lot to them. Our culture, we're pretty open, and so we have guys coming up to us making suggestions. We have guys, trying to figure things out, and our boys, just our coaches, everybody got involved. It was just like, hey, stay the course, stay with it. Don't waver. Just stick with the plan. And for us, for me as an offensive coach, when we have a defense like the defense that we have, it's a security blanket, so to speak. And so we're able to just go out there, and my job or our job as offensive coaches is just at that particular point was kill some time, manufacture some yards, get field position, and let the defense do what they're supposed to do so we can get out with a dub.
I think it's important, like Mark said, that our players were coming with suggestions. A lot of times players don't feel that they can come up to coaches and give suggestions because they don't want to, quote unquote, overstep boundaries and things like that. So, our players know when they make a suggestion, we listen because that's important to us, and it lets us know that they're in the game. Jaylen made a couple suggestions and a couple fixes that ultimately helped us win the game in the run game. Daxon Hall is a monster at running back, you know what I mean? And Jaylen, we had a specific formation. Jaylen hit my brother up on the headset because I'm in the box. He said, Jaylen wants to do this. I said, fine, let's roll with it. And I think that builds trust, it builds camaraderie. It lets the guys know that, we listen to them. And anytime they make a suggestion, that we're going to go with it because they, essentially they're on the field and I'm just looking from a different lens. So, guys being in the game is really important for us.
Yeah. Jaylen, my question would be for you is, you got great coaches, you got great athletes around you. It's tough, fourth quarter, everyone's a little bit gassed, but when you go into the double overtime, multiple overtimes, where did the encouragement come from within the players? Because you got dog coaches that's going to get it out of you. Where did you find it? Did you have to dig down deeper?
Yeah, I just looked to the side of me and just saw everyone else cramping, going through the same hardships I'm going through. So it's like, if they're not going to give up, I'm not going to give up. So I think just all of us having that same mindset just uplifted us and came out with the dub.
Man, hey, that tempo mug, you know what I'm saying? And we usually average about 50 to 52 plays, and we had 82 plays on defense in high school. And on Friday we had 82 plays, and so people underestimated that tempo, and it's hard to simulate in practice because you still got to do scout. You don't know the plays, So after, that fourth quarter and we going into extra periods, man, them plays start to catch up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so DJ was cramping. He was cramping. I mean, he had to do in the ice tub like immediately after the game.
Real?
Yeah, after the game. So, that their strategy and what they did over there at Higley, I mean, it was great. You know what I mean? And as a competitor and as a fellow coach, you got to tip your hat. They came in with a strategy. They worked their strategy, and it almost worked. You know what I mean? And so next time, I think we'll be better prepared for it.
And was it a lot of ground and pound, or was it a lot of more ground, get the ball out, RPO, quick stuff, get it on the perimeter?
Well, it was balanced. They were actually really, really balanced. But when you go into a situation where everybody knows you're going to run the football, and then it's going to be some 3 and outs, that just gave them life because they knew that they just had to make a couple stops and then not make give up a big play, and then they were going to get the ball back. So it's zoom. They zoom in. I'm talking about zooming. Our camera girl missed a couple plays because they just zoom in. She wasn't ready for that. And so, but like I said, they did a really good job, and that tempo is wild, man. And so, like he said, he had to dig deep. Everybody had to dig deep and just fight through adversity and find a way.
With that being said, you got a version of Travis Hunter like us.
What's that?
3-star corner, he can lock it down, but he come to tote the ball. He ran in between the tackles.
Yeah, so
How did that come about?
So a big knock on Marcus and I is from the outside in is we don't play our players both ways, and that's not what we mean per se. For us is sometimes we got to protect the players from themselves, and so I don't know if I'd be able to sleep at night if Dre is a 3 to 4 star corner and I'm running him to the ground on offense and he gets hurt on offense and he's really a defensive player. And so, we tell our players that once you're committed to a school, then we can do that because you got your bag.
Yeah.
Once you get your bag, then we're fine. And, we trust Kansas and what they say. So in the event that something happens with Dre, we know that they're going to honor their commitment. And so so during the season, we put in a couple packages for Dre and a couple packages for DJ for those situations. And so I know, if you look back at the Notre Dame game, Dre was a catalyst. He had 100-something yards rushing against Notre Dame. He came in an emergency situation and got us rolling. And in this game, he broke the thing for us. And it's funny because we go to the second OT, and he just turned to me, Coach. He's like, Coach, I'm ready. And I looked at him. He was like, Coach, on my mama, give me the ball 2 times and I was scoring. On my mama. And I turned to him, I said, what? He said, look, you heard me, Coach. That's on my mama. If you gave me the ball 2 times, we wanted this game. So what I did was call power. I just called power and said, man, let's go. I got our best lineman out in front of him and let him do what he got to do. And so, and that kind of tells about our culture, man. That for my running back to put it on or my DB to put on and look at me in the face and say, listen, that's on my mama. Like, as a coach, I gotta see. I gotta see it through. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I know he a mama's boy. So I know he loved his mama. So he wasn't about to just throw it out there like that. So when I looked him in his eyes and he said, "I'm rolling," then I'm gonna give him the opportunity. So I think the secret's out now. I know Dre's gonna be getting some touches here and out. DJ was out there as a receiver a little bit. He was us in tight end a little bit, a little H-back. And so we're going to do this is a season for us where we're going to, Coach Marcus says all the time, by any means. And so we're going to do what we got to do. And, I'm glad it all worked out.
Yes, sir.
And my next question, obviously winning a double OT game like that, super exciting. What did it sound like in the locker room afterwards?
To be honest, I wasn't even in the locker room because so many people was out there talking to us, and my main thing is to see my babies and my wife after the game. You know what I mean? That's my main thing after the game, and just seeing my kids run around on the field, hugging them and kissing them, and kissing my wife and just thanking her for just coming and being supportive of us and my dream is just the main thing for me. But as I walk back out, I see him walking like a zombie, like stepping like a zombie. He's like, Coach Cujo, our Atlanta, he said, I got to get in the ice bath. I was like, well, you go get in the ice bath. But, you know, the kids got out of here. They were, you know, extremely excited and ready to celebrate. You know, we go to a place down the street called Augie's with my family and go have dinner and stuff like that and watch Friday Night Fever and stuff like that. So, you know, my AD said it on Sundays. We have meetings with him on Sundays. He was like, you know, were you able to actually enjoy the win? And I said, yeah, man, I actually was. And he says, because sometimes we dwell on the losses more than the wins. And so being able to sit back and relax and, you know, all Jaylen, DJ, Dre, Kez, all the guys getting love and on social media and stuff like that, seeing that makes me happy because that's why we do it, man. If I don't ever do another interview again, I'm good with that. As long as my boys getting shine, as long as the right players are getting the shine, and as long as we're respecting our opponent and doing it with class, man, that's all good with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jaylen, going in 82 plays, that's rough. I think the most plays I've ever played was like 93 or something like same thing.
Oh, and he's on 3 special teams.
Yeah, you put in work out there. Is your favorite more smash mouth football, or is your favorite more sideline spread? I got to make open field tackles.
No, I like smash mouth football. I just coming down to hit it. So
yeah, I saw got to challenge the fullback, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. That's all I like to hear, man. Oh, I guess with you, Jaylen, what's the preparation like going into this week? You got an Oregon committed quarterback, and his ball placement is probably what he's best at. He can put it all around the yard. He can throw it to whoever he wants. What's the preparation within the players going in? I know how your defense coordinator coming. You know what I'm saying? He's thinking. I seen him talk a little bit schematic, so we ain't gonna put that out there. But what's the preparation for this? This is one of the premier quarterbacks in the valley.
Our preparation is keep him in the pocket. Obviously, we know he's gonna scramble a little bit, so our defensive backs are making sure that they're on their man the whole time, because he will make that throw if he sees it open. So just tighter routes, you know, try to keep him in the pocket, and then game tackle. So if he does throw the ball and someone does catch it, everyone's going to be running to the ball, you know, holding them up, and then someone's going to come strip it.
Yes, sir. 3-point tackle, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. I see you. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, I think, you know, Boga is a great football player, especially one of the top guys, obviously, this year. They're coming out of Arizona, and, you know, we got a lot of respect for him. We got to respect his legs. We got to respect his you know, his arm talent. He puts the ball in great, you know, spots. They have a NAU commit on the O-line at left tackle. You know, they have some good players over there. You know, that 1-3 record is not indicative of what type of team they are. You know, they could easily be 3-1. You know what I mean? And so we're gonna respect. You know, we're gonna respect the player. We're not gonna look at the record. We're gonna respect the player. And Coach Jacobs over there is a really good coach, and he has a staff over there that's, you know, getting his guys prepared. So, you know, we gotta turn that page on Higley and not be satisfied with that, because, you know, we played Noah Carter week 1. We played Cooper week 2. We played a really good Camelback team that got some really good athletes. Then we played, you know, Adu and Daxton Hall. So now we got Luke Moga. You know what I mean? Defensively, man, we're gonna be tested every single week. You know what I mean? And so we don't have time to sit around and, you know, we have our fun. We got a 24-hour rule. You know, 24 hours, you celebrate it, and it's on to the next one. And so, you know, this is just battle testing that I'm extremely excited. You know, I was extremely excited that we had the schedule that we had, because it was going to see what we're going to be. You know what I mean? And I know all our guys want all smoke. They're competitors. They want the top of the top. And so, you know, being able to challenge D1 players after D1 players after D1 players after D1 players from week to week to week, man. Not only is it setting us up for success, but it's setting up them for success, right? Because when they go on to college, that's what it's going to be like every single week. You get no breaks. I don't care if Bandy just lost to UNLV. They wasn't expecting that, but you got to come win it every single week.
I got Arkansas next week.
Yeah.
Coming out the gate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Open up SEC play. Like, welcome to the show.
Right.
Those ain't no easy outs.
No. You know, you have to go across the country to have a conversation. So you just got their teeth kicked in by Fresno State.
Exactly.
And guess who they got coming to town? USC.
USC, right. Ooh. So it's week to week. it's week to week, and that's how we like it, man. We want that smoke.
And this week is probably a little bit more added pressure on them because we don't know the status of, Buddha. And so we're coming in with our backup quarterback. And so, are we going to be as prolific from the offense as an offensive coach? I would like to think so. The reality is there's, the playbook shrinks a little bit just because of what we have back there. And so I think as competitors and as a unit, our boys on defense take it as a challenge to where, okay, well, we're going to do we're going to do all we can to make sure Ty is successful. And so, they're like brothers. So it's not like, they love this person more than this one. Yeah, they hang out with each other, more, some groups hang out more with each other. But at the same time, whoever's back there and who's on the field, they ride with them. And so there's a little added pressure, and I've challenged them to lift their brothers up on offense this week from the defensive standpoint. And offensively, we're going to do what we can to win. I told them, this is a 2,000 Ravens type of deal. You know what I'm saying?
Trip difference.
You got Trip and Denver back there.
And
then next Trip Denver back there. And then, you know what I'm saying? And they blowed up on defense. And they went to the chip, you know what I mean? So
Jay might be running that thing 40 times.
and so, like I said, on our job on offense is to make sure we take care of the ball, to score points, and defensively, already know they have our back, so it's not a big deal.
Y'all hit the head on it though. It's like I wouldn't even want to. These would be the type of teams my coach used to call catch games, where they really better with their record show.
Oh, for sure.
And they just be itching. You know what I'm saying? Trap games, catch games, like they just be ready. And like these are the ones you definitely gotta watch out for, especially when they got a sneaky quarterback like this. And, he's the guy. He knows he's the guy, but not everybody talking about it. So now it's a small school. This is his chance to earn his press.
Oh yeah. We get everybody's best game. You know what I'm saying? And so I think they found out. Our team is finding out that regardless of who we play and what we do, they're going to get everybody's best game. And so I think this gauntlet that we're going through is preparing us for that as we head into our region, because our region is no slouch, you know what I'm saying? So, we welcome this. This is what we wanted. We're still writing our story.
So it was.
Good. I'm going to get a little off topic here. For those that don't interact with you guys in person very often, what is the biggest help to tell the difference between you two?
What side of the field we're on? or who's up in the box and who's not? But just from if you see us out in the street, he's heavier than he's heavier than I am. I'm probably more of a jerk than he is. But that's just kind of it's our yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? And so. The players know. I mean, I'm sure there's some things that they say to Coach Marcus that they don't say to me, and there's vice versa. If you see me walking around, they know I'm the uniform guy. You know what I mean? And so when they walk around, they see me looking and seeing what they got on their uniform and stuff like that. And so there's different things that I go hard on, and certain things that he goes hard on. But other than that, he's like I said, he's probably heavier than me and probably a lot more, probably a lot nicer.
Nah, but what you see is don't be afraid to say what's up though either. We're not those type of dudes that don't welcome conversations. I'm a conversational guy. My wife calls me a social butterfly. You know what I mean? So if anyone sees us out, just know like I'm ready to talk football, talk life, talk whatever. You know what I mean? That's just, life is too short to go around. Not being able to enjoy people's company, man.
Come on, man.
It's about just lifting each other up, really.
That would be my next point. Is talking life with y'all a little bit. From the media day to now, what's the progression like of y'all's, the young media coach? Forget the football. What's the team progression like?
It's been great, man. So two guys, Ayad Self and then Torian Lee. These are two guys that last year were not even, they were in the doghouse, so to speak, and couldn't get right, didn't want to conform, or not really conform, didn't want to be in agreement with everybody else inside the family, and so, the last couple weeks, I've had teachers email me talking about Ayad and the difference that he makes in the classroom and how much of a student, now he's a student athlete instead of just a regular athlete now, of a bonehead, and how the transition has made to him because his role has grown. And so I think he's understand that his importance to this team, he's more important on the field than he is off the field. And then Jay Sav, Torrent lead Jay Sav, I had a lady tell me that she has a soft heart for him and that, he's not in trouble anymore. He's not rolling the halls. This is his first year playing football. So, being, in agreement with things is was probably kind of tough for him. And, having guys like us, like this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. Well, these guys have been with us for 4 years, so they understand what it is and what to do and not to do. And so for her to come and tell me that makes my heart feel good, man, because he's on every special team. He's coach, he's seeking approval, like, coach, you see me blam him, and I'm like, yeah, Jay Sal, I see that. You know what I mean? So just that's what the game is about, you know what I mean? Is seeing those light bulbs come on, seeing lives change, man. And
I was just about to ask you, like, how good do it feel for y'all to just see the growth where it's like, damn, this kid really, the influence is laying in on him.
We don't get paid enough to do it for money, and so that's where we find our joy, is seeing these young men become the best version of themselves. We tell the boys all the time, the wins on the field are for you guys. When you guys sign to college, that's a dub for us. When you guys graduate, that's a dub for us. When we're getting notes from teachers about, different things, that's a dub for us. And, going back to the game, I got 2 instances. One, coming down to the OT, Jaylen and I had a moment. I'm looking into his eyes, I can see his body cramping, I'm seeing, whatever. I'm like, listen, bro, like, I need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to command your troops. I need you to go out there. And I feel like previous years, I don't know if he had the mental to hold that. And, and then he went off to the field. And I stopped him and said, hey, did you hear what I'm saying? He said, I got you. And that's all I needed. That's all I needed to know. And, and then, Dre on the kickoff return got dinged up a little bit. And, it's a punt return. And that could have been his moment, right? That could have been his moment for Andre Gibson to return the punt. But he tapped himself out knowing that he couldn't give 100% and put Kez in there.
Does take so much more of a maturity.
Right. And so now Kez goes in there. So now we're talking about Kez's 50-something yard run to put us in position to, ultimately try to get a score. And so we're talking about Kez, but that easily could have been Dre. And previously, Dre might have been like, you know what, this is my moment, I'm going to take this. But now, as they start to see the bigger picture and they start to mature as young men, it's not all about me, it's about us.
Yeah.
So that particular point right there let me know that, hey, we're on the right track because these boys are sacrificing everything and doing all that for each other.
Jaylen Dawson, he transferred to us from Ironwood. Towards me in the scrimmage, had to sit out all year. This was his final year, his back, and this is his moment. He gave up, just on the blunder, gave up the 73-yard touchdown to actually tie the game to put them back in the game. Jaylen could have easily sulked and sat on the sideline and put his head in his pads. And, Jaylen could have easily been like, man, what, bro, you're supposed to, that was you. And no, but everybody's saying next play, next play, next play. So Jaylen knocks it was 3rd and 6. In overtime, dude comes wide open in the back of the end zone, number 2. He throws the ball to him. Jaylen plays through the whistle, plays through the hands, knocks the ball out, incomplete. They go to try the extra point. Jaylen jumps through the A-gap, gets in the guy's way, makes him bobble the ball, and then they couldn't make the field goal. They couldn't attempt the field goal, and then Dre runs it in. You know what I'm saying? To win the game. So, like, it's moments like that where guys are just pulling for each other and guys are understanding, like, listen, we're going to do whatever it takes. And I don't know if Jaylen does that last year. I don't know if the coaches and everybody is picking them up last year. You know what I'm saying? But this year, it's a different mentality. It's a different culture. It's a different feel. It's a different vibe. Not to say anything about the previous teams, but these guys have been through it for the 4 years. Like we said in your interview, they've been to the Open, they've been to the semis, they've been to the quarters, and now they're going up against the elite, and they're not folding. And that's the best thing. I told them, pressure's a privilege. And when stuff hits the fan, what are you going to do? You're going to find a way, and we found a way on Friday.
I feel like that's the most beautiful thing about this game.
Oh, yeah.
Is just watching these real life moments too.
Oh, yeah.
What a lot of people don't understand is like, as I'm getting older, these real life moments,
Fact.
it's like, damn, football kind of prepared me for this.
Right.
And it's crazy, but that's dope.
man. Every sport.
Yeah.
There were a lot of times where you face adversity in basketball, baseball, track.
Yeah.
No matter what sport it is.
I mean, he was a number 2 ranked wrestler. You know what I'm saying?
For real?
Yeah, he was a number 2 ranked wrestler, and so like that's what I'm saying. Like, and we push our guys to play multiple sports because we want them competing all the time.
Yes, sir.
And so competing is a habit. You're not. You can be a competitor, but to compete all the time has to be a habit. That's why we run track. Obviously track is to get them faster and stuff like that. But most guys, when football season's over or when wrestling season's over, they're just sitting on the game, working out with some trainers and stuff like that. But at least in track, you're competing.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Every Saturday, every Wednesday, you're competing. And I think having that mentality that just always want to compete, you got that engine on all the time, you know what I mean? And so I think that's very important, especially for our young man, because anything can happen.
Facts. Jaylen, I'm gonna keep you interested in this before we get up out of here. Try to make it quick, but I got a comparison in my head. But I'm interested to hear who you compare your game to, and who you try to. Who is your inspiration?
Well, right now, I watch a lot of Fred Warner. I know he's the best back in the NFL. Even though my team is the Chargers, I watch a lot of Fred Warner.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Ray Lewis. Luke Kuechly, I watched a little bit of pass.
Okay.
That's
I said, hey, guys.
That's a trifecta. That's a trifecta, right?
Yeah, he doesn't.
You might be too young for Navarro Bowman.
Man, him,
Patrick Willis,
London Fletcher.
London Fletcher.
What was bro for the Panthers? Davis.
Oh yeah,
Thomas Davis.
Thomas Davis.
It was same time as Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
They was too nasty.
Kenneth Lofton.
Yeah.
Lofton, yeah.
College tapes. Who you remind me of? I played against him in high school with Sean Evans, who played at Bama. Him and Ruben Foster was on the same high school team playing goal linebacker, and they were freaks, bro. It was obviously illegal that they was in the same team. You remind me a lot of him, especially like the way you approached a lot of scrimmages you play downhill. I like watching it, but that's dope, man. I like to ask players where their mind at when you watch on YouTube. Oh yeah, it'll tell you a lot about that. Yeah,
He came in here as a running back, as a freshman. He came in here as a running back. He wasn't happy with that, and so like that, when people understand, it's like they think like, we got all these D1 athletes, but it was from development. He was a running back when he came in. Dre was a running back when he came in. DJ was a wide receiver when he came in. Kez got all regions of stuff at DB when he was over at Chavez and stuff like that. So a lot of our guys are Alator. A lot of our guys were through development, and we're saying like, hey, listen, trust us, especially their parents as well. Trust us.
Buy it in.
Yeah, that we're gonna develop it. To who they are, and thank God it worked out. But they trusted us, we trusted them, and it's just been great, man. These last 4 years have just been amazing.
Yes, sir. You got anything else?
Yeah, just building off of that, trust.
Yep.
I mean, for everyone listening, if you don't have trust in what you're doing, you're not going to be successful. If you're not having trust in the people that you're working with, you're not going to be successful.